pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, in public input, we have State Representative Brody Deshays here. The floor is yours, Brody.
Awesome, you want me? I'll just sit right here.
You can come right up and sit down,
Yeah.
sure.
So first, I just wanted to apologize to the Board of Selectmen and Selectman Bob Berry. I had accidentally released his name on a list of endorsements. That was a mistake on my part. I misunderstood. Selectman Berry never endorsed my campaign for state representative, though I would have been honored if he had, but he wanted to stay out of it, and I fully respect that. And I hope that the board and Selectman Murray will accept my sincere apology for the mistake, and I hope that no other public official or professional working relationship that he had is hurt by my mistake.
Mistakes are made and we wouldn't hold it against you forever, so thank you very much. Apology accepted.
Yeah. And the other thing was the bridge funding that I promised to get back to Cip on. I did probably about a month ago now. I've been meaning to try to make it to one of these meetings, but I've just been busy with work and closing up my campaign stuff, picking up my yard signs. But so the state does not like the idea, when I spoke to the New Hampshire Department of Transportation, of paying communities back after the fact for bridge expenditures that they've made. And the reason being is that whole bridge program, our bridge rehabilitation program, where there's a rotation of folks that are on it, that is bonded. And so that means the money is finite. And so the money either expires before 2030, so the last day of 2029 on December 31st, or it either runs out before then, or at that date we need to apply, the state needs to apply for a new bond. And so in their mind, they can't make commitments to towns for money that they might not know is there. The state auditors and the state accountants are against the state making financial promises that they might not be able to back up. If we funded it through the general fund, then the legislature would be able to be able to back up those promises, but as it currently works, they can't. Their suggestion for your Board of Selectmen, road agent, and the head of any of your kind of roads, whoever that may be, or whatever departments you guys may have, is to work with their engineers and to come up with a proposal for the bridges that you feel need to be fixed sooner rather than later, and to work with their engineers and to get you guys moved up on the list.
Okay.
So that was there. They said if you reached out to the Department of Transportation, whoever your road agent is, or wherever you might have an engineer, I don't know if your town does, but they'd be more than happy to have you guys give tentative proposals, turn those into firm proposals, and get you guys moved up on the bridge schedule so you guys can get, I think you guys were pushed back a little bit, and so to get you guys moved even closer to the front. We kind of talked about it with the Department of Transportation. There's a big discrepancy between towns like yours that have a little bit less resources and the ability to hire engineers compared to Wolfboro, even like, let's say, Derry. We have full-time engineers that make all these decisions and come up with proposals that are ready to be immediately approved by the state and get the money for it. Towns like yours sadly don't. So, those larger towns with better property tax base, it actually is kind of a system that favors them because our state has decided to bond these projects rather than make a full financial commitment and make sure that towns like yours are brought in and can have these promises made to them. So,
Is it a needs based or first come first served?
first come first serve. So they do both. So you need to go to them and have plans ready, and you need to prove why your need might be greater than someone else's. I believe, you can't hold me to this, but I believe when I asked them how many red listed bridges you guys had, it was a very, very small amount. So that's part of what they base it off of. So whether or not you have a red listed bridge is a bridge that they deem as unsafe, that currently in their perspective, you guys don't have any bridges that are unsafe to travel, as compared to other more rural towns that might not have as good of plans that are, a little bit more tentative, but those towns will tend to be, they get to the point where a bridge might be washed out, and then they finally go to the state and work with their engineers. So their suggestion was, whoever your road agent is, or whatever the Board of Selectmen deem fit and who they need to empower to go and bring a proposal. It doesn't need to be an amazing proposal, but just, here's a bridge, here's what we estimate it costs. Can the state engineers work with us to, get a firm proposal so that we can get moved up on the schedule? And they said it would be a very easy thing to work with your community if you guys were willing and had the time and the resources to do that. But again, not every town does. And so that's something that, I hope future legislatures address that, and I hope whoever your future legislators are working with you guys on your infrastructure needs, because I know you look at 171 and 109A, those aren't formally on the state's highway, 10-year highway plan, and that's, I think that's,
Travesty?
I was gonna say a woeful tragedy, but I almost felt like it might be, but it is. I mean, pretty soon 171 between, Four Corners and Ospey is gonna become a cow path again, so, so there's a lot of infrastructure needs you guys have, so I hope whoever is working with you guys in the future and coming to these meetings is attentive to that, and that's all I have for you guys.
Great,
So,
well, I appreciate the explanation.
Yeah.
It does shed new light, at least to me, on how the system works.
mhm.
Can't say that I'm pleased with it, but
I wasn't either. I said, well, sometimes the communities that need this funding the most are the ones that have the least amount of funding to access it.
right.
It's very much, I agree with you, it's rigged towards wealthier communities in the southern part of the state that, quite frankly, have less roads and, quite frankly, have more funding to be able to access more state money for those roads. So
Right.
they get disproportionately extra care in a town like Tuftonboro that really, we drive these roads, we know that they need the help. So
Great.
But-
Well, can't thank you enough for coming, to be honest with you.
thank you, appreciate it. It was
Clears
good to
up
see
a lot
both of you.
A lot of the mud. Have a
to
great
see you.
day. All right, next on the agenda is building. I'm gonna pass that along for the moment. We'll just go ahead. Highway, who isn't here yet. Parks and Rec at 5 p.m.
He's here.
Dennis, are you capable of doing your presentation right now?
I can, just give me a minute.
Yeah,
I didn't know I was on today.
you are. Well, that's what it
5
says, 5 o'clock.
No one told me.
Do you have anything you'd like to present to us
I
at
do,
this time?
sure, all the time.
Like budget?
Sure.
Bring that along,
I'll
please.
be right down.
Yeah.
No hurry, don't trip.
While we're doing that, I think we have time to do the one item in our signature file. That's timber tax warrant error that was made. We have 3 different properties. Map number 51-2-3, map number 16-2-9, and map number 52-3-6. Make the motion that we sign the administrative abatement.
So, second.
All in favor? Aye. There goes Mr. Paxton right now.
Maybe, Tammy being up, Don, she'll let you know. That's okay, because we're gonna, I don't think you can make it, we got Parks and Rec tonight. so-
Yeah, I know. Yeah, well, it all depends on how long this meeting goes.
At the moment, it doesn't look like it's gonna be too long,
Yeah.
as long as you're short-winded.
It's gonna be
How's
pretty
the trip
quick.
going?
I have no idea.
You got COVID though?
Yeah.
We can't.
They say.
Okay, this, again, hasn't gone through the commission, it will tonight. Those are my numbers. I'm not gonna go through the summer wrap-up, I already went through that with you, but we
Right.
haven't met since June as a commission, so I'll go over that with them. Again, I got that thing from the Pop Warren request, I'm sure it's gonna come back to about money for their skating.
Yes.
So again, I just wanna let you guys know that it's probably down the road, they're gonna be asking again.
Well, they just
They
came
did.
here.
Oh, they did? I didn't-
Last meeting, they gave us a nice brochures and,
Oh, they did?
yes,
Yeah.
which actually had numbers in it for usage from the town of Tuftonboro, which I congratulated them on,
Yeah.
because we've had such a hard time getting it.
Yeah, yeah.
I highly recommend you watch the YouTube video of last week's meeting.
Oh.
When it gets on.
If, that's right, it might not be on.
You know, the last one we had up at the townhouse wasn't on.
She was unable to get sound,
Oh,
and so she didn't put it on.
okay.
Yeah.
But this one, yes, they came with brochures and,
Oh, really?
and a plan, a very nice looking business plan.
Yeah,
A
yeah.
lot of numbers and everything, very good.
Did they
And,
ask for a number from us?
In a manner of speaking, a percentage, I would say.
13%?
Which 10, which
Yeah.
translates into a number, but we would like to, we've discussed getting public input, having a public open meeting to talk to the voters and people that use the facility and what they think before we make any decisions.
Yeah.
It would be a warrant article, and it would be a substantial amount
Oh,
of our warrant articles, so to speak.
Talking about probably 80,000 or something.
I think you're about one-third too low.
Yeah, they're fundraising $2.7 million,
Mm.
and they're looking for 10% from us.
Did the other 17,000 come on?
No, because it's
No.
a different,
Yeah.
that's a different
Yeah.
subject.
Okay.
Right,
Although
that's part of a budget, not a warrant article.
I did throw it out there about the
You did?
Tuftonboro residents being pissed off about not being able to use the
Did you?
beaches. Of not being able to park at the beaches. Yeah, I said,
Yeah.
I don't know that you guys, this isn't your problem, but I'm saying it. Camera, I'm saying it.
Yeah, that's gonna,
I hope somebody from
that's not
Wolfboro,
gonna go away.
I hope somebody from Wolfboro watches it.
Yeah, yeah.
It would be nice.
No,
Okay, so this is your proposed budget, but you haven't run it through the commission yet,
I have not.
and that's fine.
No.
So we won't be making any decisions tonight or anything anyway, as you know. But it's good to have it,
Yeah,
by all means,
okay,
see what's going on.
yeah.
I'm gonna, I'll need a copy of that.
Well,
Run some numbers.
this isn't, we're going to talk about this tonight, right?
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, it'll be
yeah,
not quite ready for prime time.
okay.
Yeah, good.
They sent me an email, is it the Capital Group there, the Capital?
Capital Improvements
Yeah,
Committee, yeah.
and I remember that came through a couple of years ago, and maybe I'm just cloudy on the whole thing, but it sounded like they wanted me to get bids and prices and all that stuff, and I sent them back saying, look, I'm not to that point, but I'm gonna list a whole bunch of ideas, and that's what it is. And I listed everything from a blockhouse to a playground to a parking lot between the school and the thing, a dock, a van, which could provide a lot of different trips and maybe a small, camp with transportation, the renovation of the townhouse so we can get that used more. So I just listed it, but I don't know what the procedure is, I mean, I ain't got time to go down and get bids on everything, you know what I mean?
Well, you start with a wish list,
That was my wish
which you
list.
did.
Yeah,
And then the capital improvement committee, the selectmen, pick it apart, decide which is gonna be
okay,
moving forward. And if something
yeah,
strikes everybody's fancy and moves forward, then the
yeah,
formal process
okay. I mean,
begins.
if you come to me for ideas, I got them.
Without a doubt.
I got one bid in from the fence thing, it was $1,200, so I gotta get 2 more bids. The fall, we had the yard sale Saturday, we had 40 signed up, we had about 3 or 4 back out, but we had about 36. And I'm telling you, the word was out there because 8:30, we didn't open until 9, 8:30, mob here, on the top. And I think the other ones did pretty good, so it was a good day.
Yeah,
It's
and
not
that-
successful.
it's always been a good one.
Yeah, I gotta give one criticism, and out on Facebook, people's names
Yeah,
were thrown out, and I got a couple complaints about
Okay.
people, they didn't wanna see their names
I
out
see,
there.
yeah.
Addresses and
but,
locations
I
is
mean,
one thing, but,
We do put them in public places.
yeah.
All the post offices and.
Yeah,
general
addresses,
stores and
locations,
stuff.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I don't know, I mean, we don't put on Facebook and keep them in the stores, I don't know.
Oh, people's names, I don't know.
Yeah.
Get permission, I don't know.
I mean, there was a map on one side and their addresses on the other,
Well, the funny, I say the funny part of that is, if you know their address, you can easily find out their name.
Yeah, it's,
It's not that difficult to look up.
yeah, so maybe just put the address.
Yeah, just addresses, don't put any names
That's a
on
good
there,
point,
and
yeah.
things will be fine in the future. But it's always been a good event, very,
Something
very
to
well
think about. But
Yeah.
anyways,
popular.
it appeared to be very successful.
Yeah, no, I think a lot of people got the word.
I didn't buy anything, by the way, my wife is happy.
We clear, you go down your cellar and you got, cappuccino makers, waffle makers, spiral thing, the huge.
Yeah.
Panini press, I mean, so my wife had a table, we sold out real quick.
Good.
People were good.
Yep.
Again, the punt, pass, and kick was held, waiting to hear back again, we were the only one in the state to do it, so.
Wow.
Here we go again.
It's in Florida this year, so I might be
Oh.
down on you guys.
Well, will they have it recovered in time to have it there?
I know.
I don't know when they would have it, but,
Yeah, they don't have a location, they just know
Yeah.
it's gonna be Florida.
Okay.
Yeah, like if you remember last year in Dallas, they got hit
Right.
with a big snowstorm.
yeah, It was
which
really.
made it easier for our kids to be a national champ.
Used to the cold weather and the slippery football and everything.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a good event.
Um,
Congratulations again.
Yeah, no, it was good. We started ball and dancing. We had our first class last Tuesday. I just got a message, Erin from the general store's got a cold, so they're gonna cancel tomorrow, but, I was there towards the last half hour, and people really enjoyed it. And I talked to, who's the husband's name?
David.
Yeah, I said, remind me of a basketball. I says, the way you were out there and just demonstrating and just, intense and passionate, I said, it was awesome, so. What we're trying to do, and I think we can do it, the last day is probably mid-November. That Saturday night, the Laconia VFW has a big band, so they might test out their learnings.
Oh,
that
the
night.
skills, yeah, we can go over
On
there.
a trip down there with that group, so.
Yep.
Yeah,
Good.
that was good. Cornhole, the first 3 weeks of cornhole, every Tuesday, it was like the concerts, and it rained. So the first 3 weeks, no. So the fourth week was good, but I had already made a decision. We got 2 dates at the gym during the week up at Central School. So they're gonna start on the 20th, the 18th, the one day actually, when you guys have voting, was it November 8th?
Yes.
Yeah, so we're moving ball and dancing to the gym that night, and then cornhole right after. And then on Thursdays is kids dodgeball, so we're lucky we got, last year I only had 1 day in that gym, now I got 2,
Yep.
so.
Well, don't forget they have the cafeteria too. It's a lot smaller, but.
Yeah,
you can
but I
still
think
do
that's
something.
moving tables and everything,
I'm sure.
Yeah, so,
Cafeteria.
I mean, even up here, I checked to see if there was anything going on, this week, so, I mean, you have to take everything down for ball and dancing, but I know I gotta go back up there tomorrow and set up, because they're not gonna have class tomorrow. Also, we got CPR planned, painting classes planned. Halloween, the PTCO, I mean, they don't have numbers to really get in to do something, so what I think I'm gonna do is, the big Halloween trick-or-treat area is across the street. And I know the police do trick-or-treating here, so I'm gonna try and combine like a little mini carnival, trunk-or-treat, get into all the costume parade, wrap the mummy, all that goofy stuff, right here. Right here, because that's where they trick-or-treat.
Combine it with the police department.
Yeah, so I gotta talk to the chief to see if he's in favor of that. I know they do their own thing, but this would be, bigger, and I think we can handle it ourselves with our commission, have 5 or 6 games and then, do some stuff, costume parades and stuff like that, and then they can trick or treat, so. That'll be something for Halloween. The other thing is October 15th, we're working on another grant for the Meredith Bank. If you remember last year, we applied for the bike trail, we didn't get it. Although they did give money to the Historical Society for the roof.
Okay.
So Tufton Book got money, so all we can do is try again, and Joyce will help me with that, so.
That's good.
Good.
Yeah,
Excellent.
that's basically it. I think the maintenance wise, Zach did a great job, most of the stuff is in, we still gotta get a couple of those boats out of there, getting those tires out of there. But, I mean, when we go over the budget, there's some changes, a little bit here and there, it went up from, basically, I think it was like 56 to almost 70. So they might cut me on that. I remember one time when we asked for that big trailer, the percentage of the increase was too much and they turned it down, so. But, I mean, I think a lot of it might have to do with, and then, thank you guys for cost of living, awesome. I do this job for free, you give me more money.
Well, give it back. We can give it to somebody else. Spread the wealth.
Yeah. The guy had a mini van, I don't know how many it fit, 15 or 12, on the marketplace there. And it was somewhere around here. But if we had that, the stuff we could do, I mean, we could run a mini, this town is really in need of a little summer camp program. They really are, and we could make it small. We could just say, 30 kids, hire a couple of teachers, have a van, run it either out of the townhouse or the school. When we take them swimming, take them half at a time, so.
But you mean like a day camp though?
Day camp, yeah, and you could run a half-day session, full-day session, you could do both. You could go, 9 to 11:30, and then you could go 1 to, 3:30. Kid could go all day, go half days. But it's important we would have transportation. There's other ways to get, I'm sure, you know, big booster, we could do this, we could rent one, but if we had a van, then we could, you know, you went trips to the casino or to a play or to a concert, and I think it would be a big plus for Tuftonville, so. The van was only $2,000, but it was a '96, it needs a catalytic converter.
Well, then you get into used vehicles and,
No, I know.
Here we go.
I know.
but it's an interesting thought, there's no
Yeah.
doubt about
Yeah.
it, as you,
Yeah.
the wheels are always turning in your mind.
Yeah,
Yeah, good.
that's it. I have.
All right, well, thank you.
might make it,
If I get out of here early enough,
big agenda, or?
what time's it gonna start? 6
6.
o'clock.
Yeah.
We're getting very close
Very
to
well.
making it work well, so.
I'm glad I didn't know I was on the agenda. I should be checking that website.
It's
This was a little weird because Cammy's out with COVID,
Right, yeah.
so I won't say it was last minute, but it might have been a little later published than usual,
it's messy.
Yeah,
but we'll get through it.
all right, good. Thanks.
Just like that. Thank you, Dennis.
Yeah, all right, thank you. I hope Chip's feeling better, huh?
All right,
You know,
so here we
COVID
sit.
My wife works in the hospital, she said it's on the rise. Again, you know, of course you gotta pay for the COVID test now,
Right.
so people do home tests, but
Yeah.
Brewster's had an increase in a lot of calls, so be careful.
So while we wait for our other appointments, if anyone decides to come, we have the MS1, which is, needs to be turned in so that we can work with DRA to set the tax rate. You've reviewed it, I
Did you
presume?
review it?
I have. I'd make the motion that we sign the MS1 and get that in as soon as possible.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
We'll get that right back into Kathy's mailbox as soon as we can, right, Jane?
Yes, she told me I'm leaving everything here for her in the
Beautiful.
basket. Yeah,
Great, thank you. And thank you again for stepping up.
you're welcome.
I'll mention that we have not done approval of minutes,
She positioned next to me.
simply because they have not been prepared yet with our secretary being out with COVID. We'll get to those at the next meeting, I'm sure. We have, not the request, but the requirement to re-vote on the revaluation of property budget. It's been updated with the, to reflect the contract that we have with our assessor for utilities. And what that did was it brought the bottom line number from 41,196 to 49,598. And both of our assessors have contracts, so this isn't unexpected, but we need to revote because it wasn't included at the last meeting. So I'd make a motion that we vote to amend the budget for revaluation of property to reflect the number of $49,596, previous being $41,198.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, seeing that building and highway aren't here, and we might as well move along with the agricultural commission and get those folks home to supper a little earlier. Please feel free to step up, someone sit where, whatever you'd like to do.
We're good.
We're not too formal. We have received your letter. Is there anything you'd like to add to that?
Nope.
Well, one thing
Yes.
I want to do is thank you folks for your years and years.
Of trying.
You've done a pretty good job, all things considered, I believe.
Well, you certainly could have done what you guys did out there without your efforts, that's for
Right.
sure.
I would like to mention also that I did call the road agent about getting some wood chips delivered. I was
Awesome.
going to poke him in the ribs again today about it, but he hasn't showed up yet.
We don't need it till the 15th.
Okay, but I will call him again if he doesn't come. Beyond that, we have all your recommendations and suggestions. Trying to think of anything that I would want to ask, other than thanking you folks for all your work. We got a lot to think about, but I think we have a little time, because this is budget season naturally.
Yep.
As you're aware, but once we get, especially past town meeting, I personally think we'll be putting some feelers out and see if we can get some people to step up. It would be nice to have a commission, a full commission, as we know, helps out matters quite a bit.
Yeah, I really think, you know, the idea that we came with is a commission just for the garden
Mhm.
makes sense, because when they wanted the garden folks to run it, that didn't involve the fiscal oversight and stuff, which we would have still had to do. So I think maybe if there's a commission just for the garden, you might be able to talk some of those folks into doing it, as long as it had some teeth in it, maybe.
Right. Well, as you may or may not know, well, you know Chip isn't sitting there. He's out with COVID.
Oh,
Terrific.
So is Cammie, our secretary. We have Jane stepping in to fill in. And so things were a little bit, how do I want to say, mixed up, but not bad. We can run a meeting and keep business going. It won't be long and everybody will be back, but we'll certainly be discussing that in the coming months.
yeah,
You know, I'm thinking also there are a few things that, you know, or would need to be talked with the group here about. I'm thinking myself in particular, the email situation that we've set up, the Facebook page for the community garden. Personally, I've been thinking that I might want to just see if any of the current gardeners might be interested in being the administrator of the thing. I mean, it wasn't mentioned here, but
It's not a bad thought.
it
by any
makes,
means.
makes a thought, so.
And I mean, and feel free to come back at any point in time between now and the first of the year, or even afterwards. If you can do it either through public input or get on the agenda. If you've got a whole bunch of ideas, by all means, I have to write things down, and you know how that works, but and the light may come on in the middle of the night, but any suggestions would be appreciated for sure.
Would any of you be willing to stay on as like a new leader to a garden commission?
no,
You're
we're kind of worn
you're
out.
spent?
Burnt.
Okay.
We're getting old.
No, I get it. I understand.
Really?
I understand. Yeah, I get it.
You know, I think there are others in the community, if it wasn't the Ag Commission, if it were just garden,
Mm-hmm.
you know, you might find somebody under those circumstances.
That might be the way to go.
Yeah, if they knew they didn't have to deal with anything but the garden, and it doesn't require a lot of money. I think Adam just charged $75 to mow and turn over the compost. We've had to buy some hoses and things, but other than that, it's not a big budget, but somebody does need to.
It's got to be
Keep an eye on it.
administered.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
does, and that's why just running it with a co-op of only the members, it wouldn't have enough oversight. But I think that, you know, there are plenty of people in town who like to garden, so might be able to pull somebody, and then some of the gardeners. The big thing you're gonna have to deal with is allocating plots.
Yes.
And
And who, where in that decision-making process lies Tuftonboro residents versus out-of-town residents?
And, you know, 2 plots versus 1. We've made it so that people can have the same plot year after year, which is beneficial for the soil as well as for the gardeners. But I think that's a decision that's gonna have to come from the selectmen. It's a touchy enough decision that unfortunately I think you guys are gonna have to be the one.
Well, personally, I don't think it's touchy at all.
Well,
That sounds
The
a little
taxpayers
odd.
own it.
No, I
Well-
think that
That's
sounds
how
a
it
little
works.
odd.
What?
No, I think the way it is now, I think, is that people will continue to use the same plot until such time as they can't do it.
Mhm.
the grandfather.
And that's why it has been so successful.
Right, but at the moment, they've been grandfathered in, as you
Yes.
said, and now, if we've got town residents that want a plot,
It's kind of sticky.
it's sticky.
Well, the other piece of that makes it sticky is that people have invested a hell of a lot into their plots in some cases, not only with just manual labor and adding nutrients and so forth to the soil, but in some cases structure, building up raised beds and so forth. And with the idea that I can have this year after year. So that's where it gets.
Well, I'm not ready to make a lifetime commitment to any one plot personally. But I understand where you're coming from
Yeah.
fully,
So
and where they are too.
it's touchy and it's sticky.
Well,
And
Yes,
that's
it is.
something that will need to be decided pretty much right around the first of the year, because people that have plots will be on Jackie's back to sign up and get their applications done.
Mhm.
And some of them would do it today, knowing that they want to do it tomorrow. So unfortunately, that's something that probably will require a little more thought before you make any other decisions.
well, I think we can do that before the first of the year without much effort.
Yeah,
We'll see.
yeah.
Good.
Anyway, any questions, let us know.
Yeah, just,
It's good. You're still there till the end of the year.
yeah,
You're gonna be wrapping things up and
we're gonna have a work day on the 15th. Somebody will need to turn the water off, we'll just talk to Jack or somebody else,
Yep.
get the water turned off and put hoses away and
Good.
get chips out, and let people know.
excellent. I'll be in touch with the road agent yet again, see if we can get those
Okay.
chips down for you and go from there. But once again, we appreciate all the hard work you guys have done over the years.
Well,
We had a lot of ideas when we started, but
Yeah.
this is where we have ended up.
Yeah.
And this is what I think is really thriving at this point.
yeah,
That's pretty obvious.
yeah.
Good. Excellent, thanks.
Thanks.
Have a good
Thank you,
evening,
folks.
everybody.
Good seeing you.
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't be driving without it.
She'll be back.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. We've got action items here. We've already taken care of the budget item on revoting, and we have the proposed, two bids proposed for the mowing and shoveling of the town properties, which I think we can agree on. We'll wait for Chip.
Yeah.
There's an interesting difference in the way these are laid out, so it's going to require a little more thought, I think.
Yeah, I think Chip should be part of that discussion as
Yeah,
well.
definitely, definitely. All right, so that would be, whoops, action items. We've looked through this folder. We know about paving, we know about the local federal highway administration. Got that pretty well taken care of. That's our action items, excuse me, and correspondence. The date for that. So we have a certificate of active shooter incident management for Chief Shigari.
That was last week.
It's already there. Emergency action plan, doesn't seem like there's anything new
No,
in correspondence, so
it's not last week.
we can consider that done. Selectmen's updates. Nothing from you.
Nothing to contribute.
I had a fellow send me a message, and he was concerned that our accepting the offer from Irving Energy for our oil presented an issue in that they would offer our employees a discount. And he thought that might be some kind of a conflict of interest. I don't think so.
No, because we chose the lowest price.
That's what we were based on.
I could see the argument if we chose a higher than the lowest price.
Right. And us being the governmental body would receive no benefit from that at all.
Correct.
So I don't think we have any issues as far as that goes.
I don't see an issue.
As we're aware, the budget committee meeting has been canceled.
CIP meeting maybe.
If CIP needs Selectman Albee to be there, it's tricky. We'll have to see how that goes.
But that's not up to us.
No. So, In that case, any other business?
I don't see any other
Do
people
we need a non-public session?
that I'm aware of.
Don't think so. I would make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, Jane.
You're welcome. Thank you.